to go through this really fast. We're a little bit behind, so very quickly. Kristen Revin, relationship manager. I work at CBA. I started working there in May. Prior to working for CBA, I had 7 years of experience working for various financial and banking institutions on the for-profit side of things. Really the inspiration for transitioning from that side of banking, financial part of things, over to the nonprofit was specifically that I was working with financial advisors, and the financial advisors were offering products and services, and really the only products and services that were available were to high-income individuals, and that's what they looked at. So they would ask me questions about, well, I've got this low-income person, they're coming to me for some help, and there was nothing that we could do. There were no products available, there was nothing we could offer. So, in turn, transitioned where I am with CBA, and I'm here to ideally help you. And I'd like to go quickly through how building credit, helping your consumers build credit will really help build their assets. All right, monkey slide. Basically, CBA originally started in reaction to nonprofit lending organizations not having the capability to report data and on the loans that they were offering to this low-income cross-section. All these people that had low income, low credit, they didn't have an option to be able to report this information, so CBA was started in 2006 to bridge this gap, to provide a way to work with nonprofits so that they could provide that information to the credit bureaus. And truly our mission, to create innovative solutions for asset-building organizations to help low and moderate income families build stronger credit and financial access in order to build their assets, both in business and personal assets, actually. Some of that got cut off. So, let's just highlight the fact that in today's economy, credit truly is a financial asset. Credit is a measure of our financial performance, and more so through time, it's determining who's going to do business with us and under what terms and conditions. Research shows that the average individual who has good credit saves over $250,000 over their lifetime. That's pretty amazing that there can be that much savings. Just to highlight a quick couple of examples for that. When I was in school, I tried to go get a private student loan, and unfortunately, I really wasn't exposed to any sort of information about credit, so I had minimal information, if anything, on my credit report, and I was in a situation where I didn't have anyone to help co-sign. Went to a bank, got a loan, I did, but with ridiculous origination fee and horrible interest rate, versus, of course, they showed me what it would have been on the counter side of things, and it was a huge difference. Another example, as I'm sure you're seeing with a lot of these entrepreneurs who are trying to get loans, they face, and if they were to go for mainstream financing, if they were able to, they would face much higher origination fees as well, and much higher interest rates, versus if they had more information on their credit report or better credit score. So a quick example, another one to highlight, we're looking at a $10,000 auto loan, 5-year term. You see the 3 different interest rates on there based on low, okay, excellent, so 5 to 25%. When we're looking at the monthly payment, there's not a huge difference between all of them, but when you look at the total interest that they're paying for that 5-year loan, it's pretty profound that they're spending over $6,000 more in interest when they have that bad credit score. So, a credit score not only determines access to affordable financing, but also affects our ability to access more of the everyday needs and essentials. So, renting an apartment, renting an office potentially for a business owner, even getting insurance or turning on utilities, there's oftentimes different types of deposits they'll have to pay simply because they don't have information on their credit report that shows that they're credit worthy. So why is this important? I think it's kind of obvious in some ways, but really, if they're paying less and not having to pay all these fees up front, paying less in interest, they're able to have more money for other essentials. So they could have more food on the table if that's the situation. They could also have more money to use actually towards that business that they're trying to launch or develop even further. They also are able to save more money on a monthly basis for whatever that might be for an ultimate goal, which would be maybe buying a house, going to school, or starting that business if they haven't. So, it's really never too early to start thinking about credit. Obviously, people that are in college have obstacles, such as myself when I was in school. And then, of course, as you develop through life, credit becomes more and more essential thing to be thinking about. An estimated 40% of Americans have low credit or no credit at all. 40%. That's really bizarre if you think about 40% in this room even, about who potentially has low credit or no credit score at all. That 40%, my report. Hold on, sorry. Where did it go? It's not on here. Oh, there. So, sorry. That 40% is really caught in that catch-22. So these low income, potentially low credit score individuals are trying to get a loan, so they have much fewer options to be able to get that loan. And on top of that, of those organizations who are able to do the lending and provide that loan, a lot of them don't actually report the information to the credit bureaus. So they're really stuck in this bind of being able to have that information out there so that they can transition into the more mainstream financing and ideally fewer fees, less interest that they would be paying. Good credit provides access to all of these business transactions, and so unfortunately, that's really what a difficult situation a lot of these people are in. So I guess one of the key questions we should be asking is, how do you build a good credit score? How do you build good credit? Truly, it requires, first off, that loans are reported. Information has to be out there. Credit bureaus have to have their hands on that so that they know. In addition to that, if you think about it, negative information out there isn't going to improve the situation, and so there has to be positive on-time payments. And I'm sure that a lot of you experience that these people, some of them might be late, but there's a lot of positive repayments that are happening, but they're getting no benefit for their credit report and credit score for making those on-time payments. Unfortunately, it's a voluntary system, so good credit isn't, or good information isn't required to be out there, but these people that are having bad activity and potentially go to collections, that's pretty much guaranteed that that's going to be on there. So there could be all of these loans out there that they're paying on time, and then one bad situation goes to collections, and their credit report and their credit score is just awful because of that. Okay. So let's look at why you want to report from a consumer's perspective. Just to review really quick, you're saving your borrowers lots of money, so if they're able to reduce interest rates, reduce money. A lot of borrowers, once they're able to really bump up their credit score and are able to see that, they're able to call up all these institutions and say, hey, pull my credit, check this out, give me a better interest rate. And then they're able to reduce those payments on a monthly basis. It also strengthens their credit report. So there's something out there called a thin file. So if there's very, very little information on a credit report, basically it's a credit score can't be generated from that. So not only do we want to get information out there so they can get better credit score, but we want to be able to get them a credit score more generally speaking for having that information out there. What's really interesting to think about is that there's been a few different studies. Studies have shown that when loans aren't being reported and an individual goes 30, 60, 90 days delinquent on that loan, they're far less likely, pretty much exponentially less likely to ever catch up on that. On the reverse side, if that loan is being reported, they're far more likely to actually get back up to that and get all those payments taken care of because they know that the impact that it will have on them in the long term by having that on their credit report. Let's see. All right. Now, from your perspective as an organization, it really impacts a number of things. Being able to have information out there for the credit bureaus and for the credit reports, it's really a risk management tool. Of course, if you have more and more people that are more likely to pay back, you are spending additionally less time trying to collect those payments. And there's less work that's involved for you as an organization. It's pretty interesting. We work with this group called Neighborhood Development Center, and at the end of March of 2010, their portfolio at risk was at 24%, and less than a year later, at the end of February, it was down to 7%. So that time period, when they started reporting, they were able to reduce that amount so much. Pretty profound. Keep going. So what can CBA, David, me, others behind the scenes. What can we do for you? We act as a service provider. So as I said, we were started so that we could work with nonprofits to be able to report data to the credit bureaus. There's very limited options for being able to do that. We're really the only way for really small organizations to be able to report data. So as a service provider, we have a partnership with TransUnion and Experian, and we would work with you to get credentialed. The organization would get credentialed to be able to report that information through us to the credit bureaus. On a monthly basis, once the organization is set up, we work to provide that information to the credit bureaus. We have to review and batch and transmit that information. We also manage communication with them so that everything is in simple terms. We try to take care of a lot of the grunt work for all the organizations we're working with. Provide a lot of technical support, Q&A on an ongoing basis, not necessarily on Reporter, but on credit questions in general. We're really able to support that effort. Going quickly, we also provide e-Oscar support. Every consumer out there has a right to dispute information on their credit report. I see a loan on my credit report and it's not mine. I can go and dispute that information. It's called an e-Oscar dispute. Most organizations that report directly to the credit bureaus have an account that they manage. We manage that for the organization that becomes a member so that they don't have to work through that process. So we would help you with that. All right, this is a little redundant. Awesome thing about working with us is you actually get to report. The consumer's information about their loans are going to be on the credit reports so that they can build credit, have information out there, and you can support them with that effort. No fuss, all of that, it's in the slides in your book. There's different things for getting started. Really quickly, Fair Credit Reporting Act, there's certain responsibilities you have. You should be aware of if you're providing information. First off, it needs to be correct information, very important. There's different software you need for being able to do so. That's a big conversation that anyone has questions on, we'll talk about it later. Keep going. So another unique partnership that we have with TransUnion is called our CBA Access service. So we've got CBA Reporter reporting to the credit bureau, CBA Access. It gives, we were able to work with organizations to get credentialed to pull credit reports with TransUnion, both hard and soft inquiry. So hard inquiry can be used for underwriting purposes, to be able to give an individual entrepreneur that loan. Soft inquiry can be used for outcome tracking and financial education. Really interesting tool so you can look at the credit report and really walk someone through that information to help coach them. Reduced fees if you sign up for Access and Reporter at the same time. Fee card is in the binder. Truly, to summarize what CBA is able to do, we've got a reporter service, reporting information, access, pulling credit reports, and then outside of that, even if you don't want to, I mean, we want everyone to report. We want everyone to be able to help their consumers improve their credit information. But we're also here to help you. Credit questions, how to build a credit builder loan, lots of different things. We're here as a resource, and we really want to be used. So give us a call. Love to talk to you about it more. We can definitely set up a call. We've got consulting, webinars, etc. So, any questions?